So, Coach, Rhode Island recorded its first winning season in 17 years in 2018. How significant was that accomplishment as you've worked to rebuild this program?
Well, all of our goals in that other room, all the coaches, the number one goal we all have for our programs is to put a winning football team on the field each and every year. It's a critical mark. It's one that took a little bit longer than I thought it would take to get there, but at the same time, you can't slight the significance. 17 years since a winning season, it's been much longer since a championship, but we at least were able to hit that mark. Extremely rewarding, but at the same time, for the people in our locker room, our coaching staff, it's, all right, we got 6, but we could have had 8, and how do we get there, and where do we go from here? But certainly significant milestone to hit to validate Rhode Island football in the eyes of many, and I think that as a result, we've got a tremendous buzz going up in Kingston. There's a lot of people excited about football, and as we embark on this new journey into a new field surface with lights, it's going to be a really exciting time to be part of Rhode Island football.
Yeah, you alluded to it, but how do you build off the momentum from last year? And as you look ahead to this season, what are the goals for this year's team?
Well, our goals are very simple. They always have been, and it's to win a conference championship and to be able to attain a grade point average of 3.0. We have done neither one of them in 6 years. This is my 6th opportunity to be able to chase that. We've been able to get to the winning point of the season. We've been able to give us the highest GPA in whatever history of Rhode Island football, but we're still not where we want to be. How do we get there? Just continue to work hard, put our kids in the right position, but develop a mentality that's going to take us through those tough games. I think we've grown tremendously. This group in itself, the 2020 class came on in with a lot of vinegar, with the other word that they always say with that, but had a lot of expectations. But as I told someone earlier, this group has a good football team to go attain that to try for that conference championship, but they certainly will leave a legacy at the university as leaving a place better than what they found.
And looking at last year, you guys were dynamic offensively. 6 of your starters are back, including Aaron Parker. What are the keys to continuing that production, and who are some of the players that you think could be poised for big years?
Yeah, I think everybody's poised for big years. I mean, you've got guys out there that you look at and then say, boy, there's a guy that we could make some hay with. Aaron, you start off with Aaron. You go to Isaiah, his cousin, junior wide receiver, number 81 last year. I mean, he's a dynamic player. Amir Dorsey is a guy that was from Delaware, got on up our way through junior college. He was really, I thought, one of the best specialists in the country last year, and that was evidenced by his production, but we have an increased significant role for him on the offensive side. You just go down the line. Our offensive line is solid. We've got 2 good young tight ends that have got tremendous ability, got things to improve on, and we've got a handful of backs that we feel, really good about. And I could go on and on about each and every one of these guys, but, collectively, they're there. And then the quarterback position becomes the focus of all the questions and where you're going with that. We've got a guy that got 4 games under his belt, Vito Priori last year. He, established himself in the spring as the number 1 guy. But we'll have 4 guys that are going out and battling early in camp to be able to establish the 2 deep particularly, and that's Vito, Jakari Grant, who's been around and waiting for his opportunity, a state champion out of Connecticut that, has just not had an opportunity to play very much. Darius Parenti's out of California, and then we're bringing in a grad transfer player student, from the University of Texas San Antonio, a kid named Alan Edward, and we'll see where that goes.
On the other side of the ball, you have 7 starters back from the defense that was one of the best in the CAA at forcing turnovers. How good can this year's squad be, and what's going to be the key to their success?
I'm really excited to see what we can do on the defensive side of the ball this year. I really am. I watched the highlights of the all-conference, preseason all-conference performers, and as I watch them perform, I'm thinking about my guys and how they stack up, and we do stack up. Our defensive line is deep and talented. Our linebacker core is young but talented, and our secondary is we had a lot of snaps under its belt. So I'm I'm really looking forward to, seeing that component develop to a championship level, because no matter how you cut it, no matter what happens on the offensive side, at the end of the day, defense wins championships, and that's where we've got to be able to get out of our guys, and that's going to be, a challenge to them. But they're certainly capable to be able to rise up and take that challenge. And if we put those things together, it could be very, interesting year to watch.
And lastly, that you touched on, but there have been significant upgrades to Meade Stadium with new turf and the lights. And you're going to play your first 2 conference home games at night. How excited are your players about that, and what does that just mean for your program?
I think it's hard to say, that we're not excited about it. I mean, we're thrilled to death. Our kids have, been told, work hard, compete, win, and good things will come. We had some significant contributions made by, very generous people that got the ball rolling on this, because they say they want to develop, Rhode Island football to a higher level. Our kids are excited to go on out there and perform in front of what we anticipate to be a wild crowd on that first night versus Delaware. But, it's another game. What's important to them is going out and playing at a very high level, not so much where they're playing. They could care less. This group will go play in the parking lot if they want to, if they're asked to. As long as they can compete and go do their thing, then I think that they're happy. But, we can't be happier. But we got to understand, that we've made some significant strides as a football program on the field with the support, academic, the whole nine. It's in good position. But we're really just, we're just getting up to closer to even, by doing what we're doing at the stadium. Now let's go find a way to win a championship, and let's get an opportunity to be able to build it even further. Because, the one thing I do have, I've got a little gray around my temples, but I've got big ideas and big ambitions, and I'd love to see what we could do with this football program. And I'm, excited to put this team out on the field this year.
Very good. Well, thanks, Coach.
All right,
Appreciate
good.
it.
Thank you.